we go. All right. Let's see who else shows up. Hey, Marguerite. Marguerite, you're the only one in so far. We'll see if anybody else shows up. Hey.
Hi.
Yeah. I don't know if sure so anybody else will show up so far. It's just you, Marguerite. But meet Anna Coleman. She is with Guard Home Warranty. We do this every once in a while, so a lot of people have already attended. So that's
Okay, yeah.
probably why
Right.
I don't expect like a huge crowd because we've done this just 2 months ago.
When was it? Only 2 months ago. I couldn't remember when was the last
I
time we
think
did
it
this.
was. Yeah.
Wow.
Here comes,
Okay.
yeah, Dex is coming in now too. Let him come in and we'll get it started. Hey, Dex, how are you? Dex, have you met Marguerite before? Probably not because she just joined us.
No, I haven't.
She hasn't been in any sessions. Yeah, Dex, meet Marguerite. She's just joined our newest agent. Dex has been an agent now for maybe a month now, Dex, you think? Something like that?
About 2 months.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, meet Anna Coleman with Guard Home Warranty. And
Awesome.
Anna, I'll let you take it away.
Hello. Well, okay. It's nice to meet you. Happy Friday to everyone. Although Friday in real estate doesn't really matter, right? I guess it just means that you're going to get busy this weekend, and do all the things real estate that you do. So it sounds like you're newer, Marguerite. Are you new into the industry? We'll take a few minutes. Just tell me a little bit about like how long you've been in the business. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, new into like being real estate licensed, but me and my husband
Okay.
are investors. We have
Oh, nice.
three properties now. Two of them are rented out. The third we're living in as we are renovating it.
Oh,
Um,
very
so,
nice.
yeah, it's been about 3 years now.
Okay. That's awesome. Congrats. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And Dexter, how about you?
What was the question?
What
How
have you
long
been?
have you been in real estate?
Yeah, for 2 months, just about.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
He said 2 months.
Just
2 months. Oh, awesome. Okay, great. I just
Yeah,
always love to learn a little bit about you so I can speak to my answers are always going to be the same. My information is always the same, but I like to, it is different, right? Tenured realtor to a newer agent, and the
sure.
market is so different now. So
Yeah.
I a little bit about me. I am the area manager with Guard Home Warranty. We should I wait?
No, I'll let
Just
people in
keep
as we go. Yep.
Okay. Guard home warranties. So home warranties are a tool that you can utilize in the real estate industry. But before I kind of dive into that, I've supported real estate for 21 years. I'm also married to a realtor, so very close to what you do. I don't have the R behind my name, but I study what you do. I make sure that I provide services that are going to help add value to your client experience, keep you out of trouble, keep your transactions moving forward, and just bring value to your client experience. So once I know Kirsten does a great job at guiding you through that, the transaction, getting the customer, getting them under contract, negotiating, navigating that whole transaction and getting them to the finish line. And then what do you do from there? You don't want to be one and done, right? You're building your business and you want repeat and referral business. So that's the whole purpose of real estate, right? You want to build a clientele that will continue to serve you and refer you. So, home warranty, how does that tie in? So, what is home warranty? Home warranty is a tool, it's a service contract, so it's not insurance. And I failed to mention, I'm also a licensed property and casualty insurance agent in the state of Maryland for over 30 years. I was with a large brokerage, Long and Foster. I was their independent insurance agent for 13 years. So, again, tied very close to the real estate transaction as an affiliate. So, I started to see that realtors were not protecting their clients with offering home warranty, talking about home warranty, educating either their sellers or their buyers how to utilize this product to protect them. So it does multiple things. It protects you as the realtor. In your contracts, it talks about home warranty, and a lot of realtors will skim over it and not even mention it because if you don't understand it, you're not going to talk about it, right? So it really does a disservice, and it can get you in a little bit of trouble because this is a layer between a lawsuit, is what I always like to say. You have E&O, errors and emissions, but you don't ever want that to kick in, right? So home warranty is a layer between a lawsuit. So what is home warranty? It's a service contract We run parallel to insurance. We're not insurance, right? So insurance is covering physical damage. It protects the structure of the home. It protects your buyer's personal property. It does not cover them for failed systems. So when a system fails and causes damage to the damage to the property is homeowner's insurance, and the failure to the system is going to be your buyer, your homeowner, right? So think about converting renters to buyers. What do you think their biggest concern is? Who's going to pay for the repairs, right? I can't call maintenance. So we're that tool that's going to give those buyers to renters, peace of mind, or even that first time home buyer, single income, or even a move up buyer. If they're moving up into a little bit larger of a home that they're not used to, they don't know if they have the means to repair everything, right? Without putting it on credit cards. So that's what a home warranty is. It's a service contract. So how does it affect you as a realtor? So we have Guard, we have seller's coverage. So you can place the home warranty on the listing, which we're seeing it more and more today in the market that we're in. Houses are sitting a little bit longer. Buyers are asking for repairs and concessions. And if they see older systems, I just took a call yesterday. The buyer was asking for $14,000 concession because the HVAC system was older. Now the system's fully functioning, right? So are sellers really going to replace a fully functioning system? Probably not. So then my phone rings. Anna, how do we save this? What do we need to do? So, you can list with Guard on the listing and it gives your sellers, I'm going to run through it and then I can send everything to you, but it
Yeah,
gives
because
your
I feel like
sellers
this will
20.
help Marguerite. Marguerite probably has a listing of her own property.
Okay. And you as an
Yeah.
investor, Marguerite, I'm an investor too. I have properties myself, but I think so not only just you personally being tied to it, but think about your investor clients, right? So if you're working with an investor, they have liability as well. And then if you're the seller and you are also the realtor, you have even more liability, right? So you just want to remove that. So this can fit, any client that you're working with. You've got small investors, you've got large investors. I have property management. We have a property manager. I just rolled 400 doors for them over to Guard. So we are the tool that protects budget, solves problems, and keeps transactions moving forward. So on the listing, I'll just run through seller's coverage. You can list with Guard Home Warranty, and I will follow up with emails to you. So you'll have flyers, you'll have information pieces that Kirsten can send out to you. The seller's coverage, we give $2,500 during the listing period. Okay, what does that mean? It's not a lot, but it's complimentary. So your seller's not paying anything from the time that we list the warranty. So you put the house on the market, you talk to your sellers. I recommend that you list with a home warranty, and here's why. One caveat to know that I'm part of your team, that you can always introduce me to your sellers. So you have that initial conversation, and then you can connect me with an email and say, Anna, this is Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They're listing 123 Main Street. Can you explain? We've talked about home warranty. Can you give them the benefits as to why they should list with a home warranty? Let me do that part for you. You'll learn through the process, but it's a super easy. It's not salesy. We're just giving them information that they can utilize, that they know that they can list with a home warranty. The reason I would recommend listing with it, I mean, I would recommend the conversation on the listing side, on the buyer side, every single time, make that part of your process. It will always serve you well. Because we can't fix when you don't have the conversation and then something comes up, we can't put coverage in place when there's already a problem. So place coverage, have the conversation, educate your sellers, also will educate buyers. And then if you place the coverage on the listing, it's going to protect you should something come up. So a scenario that just occurred recently is that the buyer was walking through the property day of closing. The home warranty was in place because the seller placed seller's coverage. So again, we give $2,500 during that listing period. It's complimentary. Covers all systems in the house: air conditioning, furnace, water heater, sump pump, oven range, dishwasher, washer, dryer, kitchen, refrigerator, electrical, and plumbing inside the foundation. So 2,500 again doesn't sound like a lot, but it solves a lot of problems. So in this case, they walked through, the buyer hadn't signed the papers yet, hadn't gotten to closing yet, and water heater had ruptured at walkthrough. Whose responsibility is going to be? That's going to be on your seller, right? And if you're representing the buyer, your buyer's like, whoa, wait a minute. Now we've got a problem, Houston, right? So when home warranty's in place, we can solve those problems. Also had one where they walked through and the AC wasn't working. It was a capacitor. It wasn't something that was super expensive, but capacitors blow all the time, especially these high temps, older systems. It's almost a $400 repair. Not even just the cost value, but you have a solution to the problem. That's what I'm going to say. This is a tool in your toolkit that keeps things moving forward. Removes liability, solves problems, gives buyer confidence, helps sellers. I get the call, Anna, my sellers are really tight. They don't have any money. Well, if they don't have any money and you're listing a home without a home warranty, who's going to solve those problems when those buyers are asking for things, right? If you guys have questions, please feel free to jump in. I definitely love interactive. Um, but we can't solve every problem. We don't fix structural, we don't fix windows, doors, decks, siding, things like that. It's your major operating systems is what we're covering for that seller or buyer. Okay.
I have
So
a
during that,
question.
oh, sure.
Do you repair or do you replace?
Hmm. That's a great question. So our contract is repair or replace. So
Okay.
if we can fix it or if the parts can be purchased, that's what we're going to authorize. Okay. So, we're not going to just go ahead and write a check for 2,500. We're going to, whatever the part is, that's what we're going to cover. So I currently have a seller's claim going on right now. They literally placed the contract a week ago, house went on the market, and what do you think? AC went down, right? So it's got a leak in the evap coil, and the compressor went. So even though the systems are older, with Guard, we don't have an age restriction on systems. So if we can get the parts, that's what we're going to cover. Okay, so our contract covers equipment and labor. So in this case with Guard, we are one thing to point out, we're a choose your own contractor model. So that means you're speed to solution. We're not a traditional home warranty company. So traditional means that they hire contractors. They have a network of contractors that they will assign to your client's claims, which with that problem is the delays. I came from the traditional home warranty space. I was with a traditional company for 10 years and I've been with Guard 11 months. I made the move because the contractor piece was very bad and it was very challenging delaying claims. And I can't imagine being there with the heat wave that we just had. I just found out that they were homeowner filed a claim on July 3rd and they were told the contractor could not even get out until the 16th. That's just to evaluate. That's not even a repair. So again, we're speed to solution, but again, it's going to be repair or replace, which is pretty standard in the industry. One thing to note, we do not prorate. So if your systems are older or your client systems are older, we're not deducting the cost of because of age. We're not depreciating it or prorating it. So whatever the replacement would be, so if the parts are available, we're going to offer the replacement, the cost for the part and the labor. Okay. Now with us, the beautiful thing, this situation with the seller's coverage that the claim that their AC is down, they need a full replacement. Our maximum is 2,500 under seller's coverage. So they're replacing the evap coil, the condenser, and then the outside condenser also has a leak. So both systems just literally failed. They're going to be able to use our 2,500 to offset costs for them. Right. Whereas they would have not had any coverage at all and would have been in 14 grand for a full system. So they've paid nothing for the home warranty. We're offsetting 2,500 because we've pushed past that limit and we're going to offset costs. And then the warranty, when you list with Guard a seller's coverage, and the important thing is to enroll the coverage. And then once you go under contract, we'll have to update the warranty to prepare it to transfer to the buyer. Okay. And that triggers it. That triggers buyer's coverage. It goes to the buyer's agent, goes to the title company, and they take that payment due and they just take it out of proceeds. Okay. When the warranty converts to the buyer at closing, the buyer will receive 1 full year. Okay. So this seller is still gonna, and Marguerite, I'll answer your question. I'm sorry. The seller will transfer this warranty, but we still offset costs to that seller. And the buyer now has confidence. So they're going to get a system, right? We're going to offset costs. And then the remaining systems in the house are going to be protected under Guard Home Warranty. And the buyer has peace of mind and they're going to move the transaction forward. Okay. Seller does not make a payment on the warranty with Guard until the settlement, and it just comes out of proceeds. They can either to take it out of proceeds or they can pay by credit card. We pretty much work how you work or your clients work, but typically it's not funded until closing. Margaret, you had a question?
Yeah, kind of too. So to follow up with that, is it out of the proceeds from the seller, their proceeds, or the buyers? Like
Well, if the
who's
seller is enrolled, so if you're a realtor and you're listing the property with a home warranty, the seller is going to pay for the home warranty.
perfect? Is
Now,
there
if
about
your
how much it
buyers
is?
ask for, say that again.
Is there like about how much they run the different
Yeah, I
plans?
mean, I can run through pricing. So on our VI, so I'll just go with our VIP plan. That's our middle plan, and that includes systems and appliances. That's where I would start. We can
Mhm.
always build on that. You can always enhance the coverage. So it's 649 for a single family or
Okay,
624 for a townhouse, condo, or mobile home. Okay.
perfect. Okay, yeah.
Now, with Guard, we have $100 marketing service fee. And so what most realtors will do is, especially if you're buying it, if you're gifting it, or you can leverage it to your seller, you can pass that $100 discount to your client. So you could
Hmm,
essentially bring the warranty down to 549 or 524, and we can apply that $100. It's a really nice leverage if you're not buying the warranty, but you're recommending it, and we can pass that on to your client. And that, oh, I'm passing Marguerite. Marguerite is generous enough to pass her discount to you. They love that, right? So we're priced well in the market. Our service fee is $95 with Guard. Another difference with us is that the service fee is not paid at the time of the claim. The claim is placed, then the buyer or homeowner receives the email immediately that says your next steps are to hire a contractor of your choice. So our model is another opportunity for you to give referrals out, right? So you can give a referral. If you have contractors that you work with, you can give a referral out to them, which is really nice. I love that. Once we approve the claim, the homeowner is going to know what we're authorizing at that point. Again, we cover equipment, we cover labor. We cover, our labor rate is a national average. So if you hire a contractor and they're inflating their labor rate, they're inflating their parts costs, we're not going to pay that inflated rate. We're going to pay the actual parts cost, what we could buy on the street today. So, it's fair price, and also what is the national average for labor. We're not going to, because we have to have a safeguard, right? We have to have a safeguard measure in there. Everybody has a cost saving measure built in, every warranty company. But with us being a choose your own contractor and we're paying retail, we have to have that cost saving measure to ensure we're not being overcharged. Okay. Speed to solution is there. So again, seller's coverage is really nice. We have rider signs that you can put on the listing. We have lockbox covers that we can put over. So you can put a nice little lockbox cover, protects the door. It shows that it's Guard, that you have a listing. We have brochures. I have them in the office. We can always get something to you. I mean, if it's the day of and you're like, and I need a rider sign today, can't guarantee I can get it to you same day, but they're in the office and I'll do my best to try and get them to you. I just hung a rider sign for an agent. He goes, it's closer to the house than it is to my office. Can you just put it on the house? And I was able to do that for them. So I'll do what I can for you. Okay. Any questions about seller's coverage? Okay. So let's talk about buyer's coverage. So we're back in the space, right? So for the 5 years during the COVID real estate market, March of 2020, when they deemed real estate essential, kind of the wheels fell off the bus as far as ancillary services, including home warranty. Sellers didn't have to give it, realtors didn't talk about it. New agents, new realtors that got into the business didn't know what home warranty was. Nobody was discussing it. We're kind of back into that place. Houses are sitting longer, right? Home warranties are back on the listing side again. And, when there's a problem, that's when we come into play. So, buyers are expecting more. They're asking for concessions. They're having inspections. They're asking for repairs. They're demanding more. Home warranty is really a great tool for your buyers. So you can, one of two ways. When you're writing an offer, you can include asking for a home warranty, right? So if you accept again, when you're calling the listing agent to deliver your client's offer, and I'm going to submit an offer on 123 Main Street, just wanted to let you know we're asking for your seller to provide a Guard home warranty Be very specific in your ask when you're asking for a home warranty. Be very specific with the company, with the dollar amount and coverage to make sure they're not going to give you less. Trust me, I received the calls, Anna, we have to, on the listing side, we have to give a home warranty. What is your cheapest? The buyer's agent did not ask for a home warranty. They were not specific in their ask. We were just going to contractually meet the obligation, but we're not giving them anything more. So to protect your client, always be specific in your ask. And so you can leverage the warranty again. You can call and say, I'm submitting the offer for 123 Main Street. We are asking for a guard home warranty. Did you know, if you accept my client's offer, that we can convey complimentary seller's coverage to the listing? So you can flip it, right? So we can enroll the coverage and automatically convey it to the seller. You can leverage that to get the offer accepted. Now I understand your offer has to be strong, right? Your conditions like the financials, all of the things, your offer price, all of those still have to be strong, but you can also leverage the warranty because people forgot about it. So now I'm helping agents win offers because they're leveraging the warranty and extending it to the seller complimentary for that listing coverage. Okay, that's an option. Or the option is when you talk to your buyers and you meet them for a buyer consult, home warranty is a tool for you as a home buyer. We can ask if we don't think that we can ask the seller to cover it, you can purchase a warranty yourself. Okay, so this is available to your buyers. And if they're going to purchase it themselves, we should still convey the seller's coverage. So don't wait until we get right to closing. If they ratify a contract, let's enroll the warranty. That way they have coverage. We're going to protect the transaction. Should something come up during the listing, you now have leverage. Inspection, failure, something like that, then you can leverage the warranty. Okay. I look at pins, I look at inspections every day. What I will say is have the conversation up front. Don't wait till there's a problem. But if there is, let's say the problem is just older systems. So you've made the recommendation, your buyer said, no, I'm not interested in a warranty right now. That's all you can do is offer. You can't force them. So you go under contract, have the home inspection. Now your buyer's like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm really scared. Systems are end of life. HVAC is end of life. The inspector's saying budget for replacement, older appliances, all the things, right? That you could visibly see, but it's overwhelming. It can be a lot. At that point, you can still have the warranty conversation, right? Because a warranty still solves problems. Nothing's broken. Things are just older. So what I will say is I am always happy to be the expert for you. I'm always happy to be the resource. I'd rather you call me. Let's talk through it. How can I help your client? How does the warranty protect your client? And what is the best coverage you should ask for? So I get the calls also after the inspection and before you respond with the PIN. Anna, what can my client be covered for? How can the warranty protect them? What I will say to you is don't take a warranty in lieu of repair. So sometimes negotiations on the listing side, they're going to reply back to your PIN and they're going to say, oh, we'll just give you a credit or we'll just give you a warranty. Okay. If something is broken or if something has been identified on a home inspection that indicates that system is not in good, safe working order, that's that red flag for you that, your client needs, and so does the home warranty contract, requires that all systems are in good, safe working order. Age is not a concern, but so I looked at a home inspection yesterday. They called me. They're like, how's this going to affect my client? And the recommendation, there was a recommendation because the HVAC was older, end of life, budget for replacement. That's not a concern. But I said, is there anything else that's recommended from the inspector? She goes, let me read it again. And so when she read it again, she goes, oh, the fins are damaged. They're recommending it to be evaluated and serviced by a licensed HVAC professional. That is so important. So the fins are damaged. The warranty covers a lot, but it doesn't cover everything. So we cover mechanical failure due to normal wear and tear. The warranty does not cover known pre-existing conditions. So right now you've identified a pre-existing condition. Okay. So if you can visibly see there's a problem, if you can visibly see that there's damage to the fins on the condenser outside, that can impact the functionality of that system. So my recommendation to her is, she goes, Anna, we did ask the seller to replace the condenser, but they're pushing back. And I said, okay, my suggestion to you is when you respond back is you ask for the best home warranty plan, not the basic. Here's what it's going to give. And I'll run through that really quickly. But also, I would recommend that you have that system evaluated and serviced by a licensed HVAC contractor and deem that it's in good working order and that the damage to the fins will not affect the functionality of the system. So now at that point, we've got a licensed professional saying, nope, everything's good, right? Your client's good. Or no, absolutely not. It needs to be replaced. So then you have a position, right? You're coming from a position of a licensed professional telling you, not just you asking or your buyer asking. And then from there, then we also built out the best warranty plan that, the top plan that's going to give the buyer the best protection going forward. Okay. Any questions with that? And then I just want to run through coverage options real quick. Dexter, you had a question? Or
Typically, how
Ralph? Is
long?
it Ralph
It's
or is it
Dexter.
Dexter? Dexter,
It's
okay.
Dexter.
Thank you.
I've had during school days, I've had that question so many times by teachers.
I wasn't sure. I looked at it. I was like, I think it was Dexter, but I wanted to make sure. Thank you.
All right, thank you for even checking. So I was just gonna ask, how long does it typically take for you guys to like you know, settle a claim?
Oh, it's fast. So we're much different. So I mean, I love your questions. That's the biggest experience, right? Like what's covered, how fast is it covered? So I just saw we just had a meeting and right now like AC side, we're pushing 58 minutes. It's not a long time, right? Whereas you're dealing with home warranty companies, traditional, you're looking at weeks. Right. It's not they never are settling a claim on same day because their contractors are coming out just to evaluate and then they have to send a report and then they have to order parts. So with Guard, your client can file a claim today, have a contractor out if they have somebody or if they can get somebody out today or next day. It depends. So we don't negotiate with contractors. So as soon as from the time that contractor's in the home and they call our claims team, we're looking at 30-ish minutes to an hour at the most. And an hour is pushing it. And it's just because we had a volume of claims with the AC, being in the 110 with the heat index and the high extreme temps we've had for the last 10 days, high humidity, high temperatures. So we're minutes, minutes from the time that contractor is in the home and we get what we need that we get the authorization. Now, the homeowner can make a decision. Once we have what we need, we're going to authorize the dollar amount. Okay. So it's quick. I mean, it's much faster than any traditional home warranty company and even other choose your own. There's not many out there, but they just do business a little differently than Guard. So it's a really fast process. You as the homeowner still has the ability to make their decisions. We're not going to stop them. We're more of a reimbursement model. So we reimburse on the back end. So we authorize, homeowner makes the repair, we send a link to them. They're reimbursed same day. I mean, honestly, I just literally saw a claim from a claim. Contractor was able to get out same day. It was a plumbing emergency. Called our claims team. We authorized, they had the receipt, paid receipt to us. We reimbursed literally within less, it was like from start to finish, I don't know, a couple hours. So it's fast. I mean, I would say maximum hour for us to authorize. I agree with you. That's why I left the traditional space after 10 years with one company. And Kirsten knows because the claims were it just was terrible. And listen, you can order Uber Eats, you can order Amazon on your porch in 4 hours. Like, do you really want to wait weeks and weeks for water heater, air conditioning, a plumbing leaking? Like nobody wants to wait for that. So I like the verbiage. So for your clients, like, this is a tool that is going to help you protect your budget. I love that. It gives you peace of mind. It helps you offset costs. I never like to hear when I hear realtors going, it covers everything. No, it doesn't. We don't cover everything. We cover a lot. When the product is used properly. So I will say when the product is misused, and what do I mean by that? When I get those calls and I'm kind of being lined up by a firing squad and everybody's like, "Pa, pa, 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 Anna," and I was like, let's break down the situation. Typically, when the warranty is misused, when the warranty is given to a buyer in lieu of repair, that buyer is none the wiser, and the realtor didn't educate themselves or understand home warranty or were misadvised or misunderstood, whatever the case may be. We can only do so much. So when coverage is placed is important. What coverage is placed is important. Starting out on good working order is so important, right? Having a rep, I'm local, I'm in Baltimore County, somebody who's seasoned, experienced. I'm not just selling a product, right? I'm not peddling a product. This is really a great tool for you. I'm part of Legacy, Keller Williams, Legacy and Capital Properties. I support your brokerage. My goal is to be here to support you and your client experience and providing you with good content, information, resources that you can solve problems for your clients. And we can set the right expectation. When we do that, we win, right? It's a win-win. When it's misused and improperly used, and then the wrong expectation, or here's what I would say as a consumer, because I'm a consumer. I have 4 properties with Guard. I've gone through the claims experience. I have rentals. I have my primary. We had a plumbing emergency in one of our rentals that, whole house was backing up. I go through the process myself and I want to make sure that it works. Is anybody perfect? No. You can always call me. As the area manager, myself and my team, we will do what we can to move things forward and solve your problems. But again, coverage is important. So let me go through the coverage real quick. So we have appliances where you can just select appliances. It's going to do just that. It's going to give just appliances. That's $499. Okay, for a and I'll send this all to you. So if you want to take notes, fine. I'm a note taker myself, but it's $499, 424. I'm sorry, $499 for the or $474 if it's a townhouse, condo, or mobile home. A little bit of a price break. Or you can just give systems, which is going to be air conditioning, heating, plumbing, sump pump, the electrical, and the garbage disposal. That's $549. Or $524 if it's a townhouse, condo, or mobile home. Now, what I really like, I just like if you're going to start somewhere, the VIP plan is our middle plan. That is going to give you systems and appliances, and it's a little cheaper. So you're going to have all systems in the house. That's $649 for a single family or $624 for a condo, townhouse, or mobile home. Okay. And then we have the Guard Plus. So it's the VIP plan, and then you add an enhancement on top of it. It's going to double coverage. It gives, if there's a house that has multiple zones, it adds the second zone. It'll add the ice maker beverage dispenser. So it's called the Guard Plus. That is $1248 for a single family or $1224 for a townhouse, condo, or mobile home. And remember, you have that $100 discount that we can apply. So you can leverage it. You can gift it to your client, and then we can just reduce the cost. Okay. In the Guard Plus, a couple really nice perks that we've added. Your clients can get a $95 coupon, service fee coupon. So their first service fee essentially is free. They also can choose between a rekey. They can get $100 reimbursement for rekeying, or they can choose to put a smart thermostat in. I just like the perks. So it's about $195 savings for them. Okay. We also send out immediately. We'll pay for the filters for your client. We'll reimburse $25 if they buy filters. We send them a link. They can click it. We send us a receipt. We send them $25 for their first filter. If your clients have not used the warranty in 9 months, I just received one on one of my properties that we've not had a claim. Thank goodness. But they send an email and it says, hey, do a service. If you've done any maintenance in your house, do routine maintenance, send us the bill, we'll send you $50, or the receipt, we'll send you $50. Okay. So that's typically our process. We want to add value. We want to solve problems. Now, in addition to the contract plans, there's optional coverages. So you can always add a swimming pool. You could add a septic tank pumping, exterior sewer and septic line. I love that coverage. I can tell you that the number one claim I'm seeing today, it used to be AC and furnace. We're seeing now that it's plumbing. Buyers aren't doing sewer scope inspections for whatever reason. And that's a big deal. right? So plumbing backups, that's a small, we give $1,250 of coverage, but it helps solve problems. So if the failure is right outside the foundation, it's going to give them some protection. Okay. They can add the second freezer, like if they have a standalone freezer, they can add a well pump. I'm trying to look water softener, roof leak repair. That's a big one. So it's $100 to add, and it gives $1,000 over the main structure. We're not covering missing shingles. Everything has to be airtight. If there's any skylights, things like that, we don't cover that. If the flashing is missing, we're not covering flashing. I just had one where the water was breaching. The flashing was kind of like out. We don't cover that. Okay. The chimney, of course, we don't cover that. But if the shingle fails itself and there's a breakthrough and you've got some water damage, we're going to cover that section of shingles that fail up to $1,000. So I see it a lot where I'll get calls from listing agents or even buyer's agents. Anna, we're going to get a warranty and we're going to add the roof. It gives your buyers peace of mind. It solves that problem. Okay. What questions? I didn't go through limits. I'm happy. How much time do we have, Kirsten? Are we till 12
No,
or am I over?
we're till 11:30. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Actually,
over.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
I can, yeah. So
That's okay.
I'm happy to, I can
Yeah.
send you the things that I've pulled up.
Mhm.
What other any questions that I can answer really quickly for anybody? Any burning questions?
I just had a quick one, because I
Uh-huh.
know you said like you cover like the national average typically for work an hour. How do you see that comparing to the like work rates around the DMV? Does it typically tend to cover it? Because I know we're a bit more expensive.
It's pretty close. I got to tell you, and my company, what I will say is they'll go to the next hour. So, like, I'll give you a scenario. I just saw that it was like 3 hours for this AC compressor replacement, and I think they were charging six. So you're going to see the gap there because that's 6 hours when it really should only take three. We actually paid four, so there was a little bit. I mean, I feel like it balances out. So everybody has a different perspective. I think it's a very fair. Sometimes we might be off a little bit. If there's ever a question and it's significantly, I'm happy to look at the invoice and we can talk through it. I'll do what I can, but I can't just make up the difference when the contractor's inflating that rate, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I still think, what I see and being in the industry for over 20 years, what I can tell you and being with a traditional company for the last 10, is the homeowner wants to solve problems quickly. Nobody wants to wait, right? So if they understand that we're going to offset the majority of their costs, they're typically happy about that, and that's what they're expecting. So yeah, I can always look at if we're ever really off on price. 30% of the invoices that come in for payment after we approve, 30% of them are coming in with a different contractor than initially approved because the homeowner's shopping them. So they already have their approval rate. So you have that ability. If it's not an emergency, you can always shop. So yeah, but I mean, I can't say that I take the calls every day. Have I taken some? Yeah, Anna, these rates are a little off. And then we'll work through it. And that's where we typically can discover that, oh, they're inflating. Right. Because I can send a link for parts costs. We can Google it, we can find it. So that's when we typically see that their contractor is inflating that rate. But yeah, I feel like and again, the $95 is not getting deducted. So it's going to be deducted from what we reimburse. So you're not paying anything up front with us. Most companies are charging you up front, whether they cover it or not. You're paying that $100 or right? Or 125. With Guard, we don't do that. And I love that. That's one thing one of the things that I love. So any questions? If you think of anything, shoot me an email, call me. We can always go offline. I'm happy to dive deeper and answer specific questions. But Kirsten, I'm going to shoot you an email with the things that I pulled up that we can if you can send it out to your team.
Yep.
I'll give a summary
Yep.
of coverage, just of the plans, a quick
Mhm.
snapshot of the seller's coverage. And then that
Yep.
way, and if you want me to add you into our system so you get our newsletters, please just shoot me an email and I'll get you set up so that way we're connected as well.
Yeah, Anna has all kinds of goodies that she can.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some great, we send out really great newsletters. So if you're looking for something to send out to your sphere or to pop on social media, you can grab a snippet of that and share it. It's really good content, but it
Mhm.
educates you as well as can educate your spheres also, and maybe start a conversation that will ultimately lead to a real estate opportunity. Right? That's what, right? That's what a customer wants you to give them something of value, right? Like Brian Buffini, if you've ever heard of Brian Buffini, that's what he talks about, giving something of value. So if you're giving a tip or a trick or a cost saving measure, that's what they want. That's going to bring people to you. So, yeah, that was a lot. Hopefully, you
Thank
guys got
you.
something from it. I hope you
Thank
had
you,
one
Anna.
good takeaway.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Appreciate
You're,
it.
of course. Thanks for having me. Yeah, shoot me emails. I'll send you. I would love to, stay in
Yep.
contact with you and help you all any way that I can. Help you grow
Yep.
your business.
Yep. I'll do that. I'll make sure everybody gets connected.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. Thanks
Bye,
for calling,
everyone.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.